Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about something that, when truly understood and practiced, has the power to transform your life: discipline. Now, I know when you hear the word discipline, you might think of rules, restrictions, or even punishment, but I want to challenge that thinking. Discipline is not the enemy. Discipline is your greatest ally. It's the secret to unlocking your true potential. It is the difference between dreaming about a life you want and actually living it. Discipline is not just about control, it's about self-love. It's about honoring yourself enough to stay committed to your goals, even when it's hard. When you show up for yourself day in and day out, you're saying, I am worthy of this effort. I am worthy of this dream. It's not about perfection, it's about making a conscious decision to be the best version of yourself, no matter where you start. And you know what? Success isn't found in a single grand action, it's found in the small, consistent choices you make each day. You see, discipline is what transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. Those little actions, they add up. And soon enough, you'll look back and realize that your consistency has created a life far beyond what you could have imagined. The beautiful thing about discipline is that it leads to freedom. I know it might sound counterintuitive, but hear me out. When we choose discipline, we choose control. We create structure in our lives that frees us from anxiety, from chaos, from waiting for something outside of us to change. The power to shape your life is right in your hands, and discipline is the key to unlocking that power. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's always easy. It's not. There will be days when you feel like giving up. You'll face setbacks. There will be times when it feels like you're not making progress. But I promise you, it's not about being perfect. It's about showing up and staying in the game. When life knocks you down, discipline means getting back up, no matter how many times it takes. It's about the relentless determination to keep going. But here's the thing, you can't wait for someone else to hold you accountable. This journey of discipline is yours and yours alone. You have to take full responsibility for your actions and your choices. No one else is going to do the work for you. The key to transforming your life starts with you. When you accept this, you realize that you have everything you need to succeed. You just have to show up for it. And as you go on this journey, I want you to remember something incredibly important. Celebrate every step of the way. Celebrate the wins, no matter how small they seem. Discipline is not a destination, it's a journey. Every day you choose to move forward, every day you choose to show up, you are making progress. Every single day matters. So I challenge you today, step into your discipline. See it not as a burden, but as a powerful force that will guide you to the life you've always dreamed of. Own your choices, embrace your journey, and remember that discipline is not about restriction, it's about creating freedom, possibility, and growth in your life. When we hear the word discipline, many of us immediately think of rules, restrictions, or even consequences. It's easy to see discipline as something that limits us, something that keeps us from having fun or doing what we want. But what if I told you that discipline is not something that holds you back? It's the key to unlocking your greatest potential. Discipline is not a punishment. It is, in fact, an act of freedom, of power, and of love for yourself. Think about this: discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the daily commitment to showing up, even when the world isn't watching. It's the decision to do what's right, not just what's easy. When you're disciplined, you're choosing to invest in yourself, to honor your goals, and to move forward, even in the face of challenges. But here's the beautiful truth: discipline is not about being perfect. It's not about always being the best or never making mistakes. It's about having the courage to keep going, to stay on course when the world seems to be pulling you in 1,000 different directions. It's the willingness to give yourself the space to grow, to become the person you've always dreamed of being. Because at its core, discipline is not just about controlling your actions, it's about having the strength to control your mindset, your thoughts, and your future. In a world that constantly tells us to follow the path of least resistance, discipline is the quiet, steady force that reminds us that the path we choose today shapes the life we live tomorrow. It's the small choices, the everyday moments that lead us to the big victories. And yes, it may feel challenging at times, it may push you out of your comfort zone, but every time you choose discipline, you are carving out a life filled with purpose, growth, and success. Discipline is not about forcing yourself into a rigid, joyless routine. It's not about punishing yourself for every mistake or imperfection. At its core, discipline is an act of self-love. When you commit to being disciplined, you are showing up for yourself in the most profound way possible. You're choosing to prioritize your dreams, your health, and your well-being over momentary pleasure or convenience. It's saying, I believe in you even when the world might not notice the effort you're putting in. Imagine that the most important person in your life is you, because let's be real, if you don't show up for yourself, how can you expect anyone else to? When you choose discipline, you are giving yourself the greatest gift, the opportunity to be the best version of yourself. You are choosing to honor your goals, your future, and your potential. You are choosing to put in the work today so that tomorrow you can look back and say, I did this for me. It's a declaration that you are worthy of your own time, energy, and effort. Self-discipline doesn't mean that you're being hard on yourself. It means you're being kind in the deepest way possible. It's loving yourself enough to make the hard choices today, whether that's staying up late to study, waking up early to exercise, or pushing yourself to finish something you started, even when the going gets tough. Each time you choose to do what's right instead of what's easy, you're strengthening the relationship you have with yourself. You're telling yourself, I trust you, I believe in you, and I know you are capable of achieving greatness. You see, when you're disciplined, you are practicing the ultimate form of self-respect. You are saying, I deserve to reach my highest potential. I deserve to honor my commitments. I deserve the rewards that come from my own hard work. Self-discipline is an investment in you, the future you, the best version of you. And the most amazing thing happens when you start to honor yourself through discipline. You begin to see the incredible, unstoppable force you truly are. When you love yourself enough to show up every day, you start to become the person you've always wanted to be. There's something incredibly powerful about consistency. It's not the flashy moments or the grand gestures that create lasting change in our lives. It's the quiet, steady commitment to showing up day after day, no matter how small the task might seem. Consistency is the secret ingredient to success, the force that keeps you moving even when the excitement fades, when the motivation wanes, and when the world seems to be pulling you in 100 different directions. Think about it, success doesn't come from a single brilliant moment or a one-time effort. It's built on the foundation of small, deliberate actions repeated over time. It's the habit of waking up every morning with purpose, of taking one step at a time, even when you don't immediately see the results. It's the decision to keep going even when progress feels slow, because you know that every small action you take is adding up to something far bigger than you could ever imagine. We live in a world that loves instant gratification, that tells us we should see results right away. But true transformation doesn't work that way. It's like planting a seed in the ground. You don't see the fruit overnight, but every day that you water it, every day that you nurture it with care, the roots are growing deeper and the foundation is becoming stronger. The same goes for your goals and dreams. The work you do today may not show immediate results, but I promise you every step, every effort, every small win is building towards something monumental. Consistency doesn't just create results, it builds resilience. It teaches you the value of patience, of persistence, of believing in your journey even when the finish line seems far away. It's the ability to keep going even when it feels like no one else is watching or applauding. It's the quiet confidence that says, I'm doing this for me. And I trust the process over time. This consistency compounds, creating momentum, turning what once seemed impossible into something inevitable. When you embrace consistency, you are aligning your actions with your intentions. You are proving to yourself day in and day out that you're willing to put in the work, even when it's hard. The results will come sometimes sooner than you expect, sometimes later, but they will come. Because when you are consistent, you are making a promise to yourself that you are not going to give up. You are showing the world that you're in it for the long haul. And that kind of commitment, showing up again and again, even on the tough days, is what turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. The way we think about discipline can completely change the way we experience it in our lives. Often we look at discipline as something we have to do, something imposed upon us, something we begrudgingly accept as necessary. But what if we shifted our mindset to see discipline not as a duty, but as a privilege? What if we saw it as an opportunity rather than an obligation? When we make that shift, something incredible happens. Discipline becomes a tool that we choose to wield for our own benefit. It's no longer something we do because we should, but something we do because we want to. The very thought of making that shift can change everything. Instead of dreading the work ahead, we begin to see discipline as a powerful investment in our future. It becomes a promise we make to ourselves that we're worth the effort, that our dreams are worth the focus and energy we put in. This mindset shift is transformative. It allows us to approach every task, no matter how challenging, with a sense of excitement, not dread. Instead of feeling weighed down by the work we need to do, we begin to see it as a chance to grow, to improve, to move closer to the life we've always wanted. We embrace the idea that the work itself, the daily discipline, is part of the journey to something greater, something meaningful. It's no longer about what we have to do, but about what we're creating for ourselves moment by moment. Imagine waking up every day with a mindset that says, I get to do this. I get to invest in myself today. I get to make progress toward the life I'm building. It's the difference between feeling trapped in a routine and feeling empowered by the opportunities within it. Instead of looking at the hard work ahead as a burden, we begin to see it as the path to freedom, success, and fulfillment. When we shift our mindset in this way, we take control. We realize that discipline is not about being restricted, it's about being liberated. It's about the freedom to shape our own destiny, to create the life we want, and to rise above the noise and distractions that might otherwise hold us back. By shifting our mindset to embrace discipline as a choice and a privilege, we free ourselves from the weight of excuses and self-doubt. We no longer wait for motivation to strike. We take action because we know that our future selves will thank us for the work we put in today. The more we choose discipline, the more empowered we become. The more we see our potential not as something distant, but as something tangible and within reach. Discipline stops being a sacrifice and starts being the greatest gift we can give ourselves. There's a powerful truth that many of us don't realize until we experience it firsthand. Discipline is not about restriction, it's about liberation. When we think of freedom, we often imagine doing whatever we want, whenever we want, without rules or boundaries. But real freedom doesn't come from a lack of discipline, it comes from the structure that discipline provides. Discipline leads us to freedom because it gives us the control, the strength, and the clarity we need to live the life we truly desire. Imagine for a moment what your life would look like if you had complete control over your time, your habits, and your actions. You would wake up each day knowing exactly where you were headed, what you needed to do, and how you were going to get there. You wouldn't be held back by procrastination, by distractions, or by a lack of direction. That's the power of discipline. It creates a structure that frees you from chaos. It gives you the ability to make decisions that align with your deepest values and your highest goals. Discipline means choosing the actions that move you closer to your dreams, even when they're not the easiest or most immediate choice. In those moments when you push yourself to do what's right, to stick to your plan, to stay focused, you are, in fact, creating more freedom for yourself. You're breaking free from the tyranny of impulse, of fleeting desires, and of the excuses that hold us back. When you discipline yourself, you take control of your future. And that control is what gives you the freedom to create a life you can be proud of. Think about this: by making disciplined choices today, you set yourself up for a future where you don't have to constantly scramble, where you don't have to wonder if you're on the right path. The more disciplined you are, the more space you create for the things that truly matter. You're no longer weighed down by guilt, stress, or uncertainty because you know you've made the effort to stay on course. This kind of freedom doesn't just happen, it's the result of the habits you build, the commitments you honor, and the actions you take every single day. Discipline may feel like a sacrifice in the moment, but it is the very thing that frees you to live a life of purpose, fulfillment, and joy. It's the freedom to chase your passions, to make decisions from a place of clarity, and to know that you are always moving forward. In choosing discipline, you choose to rise above the noise of life's distractions and step into the space where your dreams can truly unfold. Far from limiting you, discipline expands your possibilities and allows you to live your life with intention and power. Life is full of setbacks. There's no way around it. No matter how much we plan, no matter how determined we are, we will all face challenges at some point on our journey. But here's the truth: setbacks are not signs that we should quit. They are not proof that we are failing. Setbacks are part of the process. They are stepping stones on the path to greatness, tests that reveal just how committed we are to our own growth and success. What separates those who keep moving forward from those who get stuck is how we respond to challenges. It's easy to stay motivated when everything is going well, when the wind is at our backs and the path ahead seems clear. But the true power of discipline shines through when we face adversity, when things don't go according to plan, when the going gets tough. It's in those moments that our commitment to ourselves and our dreams is tested. It's in those moments that we have the opportunity to show ourselves just how strong we really are. The beauty of discipline is that it's not about being perfect. It's not about never making a mistake or facing a challenge. It's about the ability to keep going, even when things seem impossible. It's about showing up time and time again, even when the world feels like it's against you. When you encounter a setback, discipline is the thing that tells you, keep going. This is just a chapter in your story, not the end of it. You may have fallen down, but you have the power to rise again, stronger and wiser than before. One of the most powerful forces in life is personal accountability. It's easy to look outside ourselves for reasons why things aren't going the way we want, to blame circumstances, other people, or even our past for the challenges we face. But real growth, real progress, begins the moment we take full responsibility for our actions, our choices, and our lives. When we hold ourselves accountable, we stop being victims of our circumstances and become the creators of our own destiny. This means that regardless of what happens around us, we choose how we respond. We stop waiting for permission to take action or for the perfect moment to begin. We stop looking for excuses or shortcuts. We recognize that every choice we make, big or small, is shaping the life we're living, and that we have the power to change our course at any time. This is where the true power of discipline lies, in the ability to take responsibility for the choices we make, even when they're difficult. It's not always easy to own up to our mistakes, to face our shortcomings, or to take a hard look at how we've been spending our time. But when we do, we open ourselves up to growth. We give ourselves the permission to start fresh, to make changes, and to grow into the person we know we're meant to be. Self-accountability isn't about beating yourself up for every misstep or regretting things you wish you'd done differently. It's about recognizing that the power to change, to create the life you want, is always in your hands. It's about having the courage to look yourself in the mirror and ask, what do I need to do today to move closer to my goals? What actions do I need to take to get where I want to be? And when we make those choices, we begin to take control not just of the small things, but of the big picture of our lives. This level of personal responsibility is also about showing up even when it's hard. It means committing to your goals even when no one else is watching, even when the excitement fades, and even when others might not understand. It's about doing what you say you're going to do because you've made a promise to yourself. When you start holding yourself accountable in this way, you begin to build a foundation of trust with yourself, and trust is the most important relationship you'll ever have. Taking full responsibility for your life means that you stop waiting for things to change on their own. It means you stop giving your power away to circumstances or other people. Instead, you take control of the choices you make today, knowing that they will lead you to the future you desire. With discipline, accountability, and responsibility, you have the power to shape your life into something extraordinary. So take that responsibility. Own your decisions and know that when you do, you hold the key to creating the life you've always dreamed of. In our pursuit of growth, success, and achievement, it's so easy to get caught up in what's next, the next goal, the next step, the next challenge. We push ourselves relentlessly, always striving for more, always focused on the future. But in all that striving, it's crucial to take a moment to pause and celebrate where we are right now. The journey is not just about reaching the destination, it's about recognizing the progress we've made along the way. So often we focus on what we haven't accomplished yet, the things still left undone. But what if we shifted our focus? What if instead of measuring our success by what's still on our to-do list, we celebrated every small victory, every step forward, every moment of progress? Those small wins are just as important as the big ones. In fact, they're often the building blocks that get us to the bigger successes. When we take the time to celebrate our progress, we acknowledge the hard work, the dedication, and the discipline we've put in. It's a way of honoring our journey no matter how far we've come. Every effort we make is a victory in itself, and by celebrating those moments, we reinforce the belief that we are capable, that we are moving in the right direction, and that we are worthy of success. This celebration doesn't have to be grand. It can be as simple as taking a moment to reflect on how far you've come, or giving yourself credit for the things you've accomplished, no matter how small they seem. Celebrating progress doesn't mean we stop striving for more. It means we recognize the importance of where we are in the process. It reminds us that growth is not always linear. There will be ups and downs, detours and delays, but every step forward, no matter how small, moves us closer to the life we're building. By celebrating these moments, we fuel our motivation, we reinforce our commitment, and we build the momentum that will carry us toward even greater things. It's easy to get discouraged when progress feels slow or when we feel like we're not moving fast enough. But when we celebrate every achievement, no matter how small, we remind ourselves that success is not an overnight occurrence. It's the result of consistent effort, day in and day out. And those small, incremental victories deserve to be acknowledged, for they are the proof of our dedication, our resilience, and our determination. So take a moment today, reflect on how far you've come. Appreciate the work you've put in, the challenges you've overcome, and the progress you've made. Celebrate it not just because it feels good, but because it fuels you. It gives you the strength to keep going, to continue moving forward with purpose, knowing that you are on the right path. The journey is just as important as the destination, and celebrating your progress allows you to enjoy both. As we stand here today, remember this discipline is not about perfection, it's about persistence. It's about showing up for yourself day in and day out, no matter the obstacles that stand in your way. Every challenge you face, every setback you encounter is just another opportunity for you to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Discipline doesn't limit you, it frees you. It empowers you to take control of your future, to rise above the distractions and excuses, and to create a life of purpose, growth, and fulfillment. The road to success is rarely straight, but with discipline, you will have the strength to navigate every twist and turn. When you embrace discipline, you embrace the opportunity to become the best version of yourself. So commit to yourself today. Make the choice to show up, to be consistent, to handle setbacks with grace, and to trust the process, because I promise you, the life you are building is worth every effort. You are worth every effort. Keep going and let discipline be the key that unlocks the freedom, the success, and the joy that await you.